Merry Christmas, Potter fans. I'm head coach Jesse Crawford. Looking forward to getting back on the field this spring. Last year was tough on all of us in all aspects of life, including athletics and just kind of having a normal way of what we're used to. So in the meantime, the Potter coaches and some alums and former coaches have came up with a great list of former Potter players, with coming up with the first team all-decade team and a second team all-decade team. Over the last 10 years for Potter baseball has featured junior high state championships, high school state championships, sectional titles, averaging almost 25 wins a season over the last 10 years. And like I said, several guys playing on at the next level, pro ball, Division I, Division II, all levels of college. And it's really proud as a coach to see those guys go on and do great things. So without further ado, we would like to unveil the all-second team Potter baseball. Now to break down that second team a little bit further and talk about each and every one of those guys on the list. Starting off with my guy Kyle Killion, a guy that batted cleanup for the state title team in 2018. Ultimate system guy, a guy as a junior that kind of had to fight his way into his starting lineup, and then as a senior was the ultimate power hitter for us, hitting 5 home runs, several clutch hits in the postseason, and was really a mainstay in our lineup in 2018. Next guy on the list was a guy I did not coach in baseball. I coached him in basketball my first couple years in Morton, Holloman, a guy that his senior year I think was 12-0 in the 2012 season, a season that they were one win away from the super sectional. Jared went on to play Division I baseball at Morehead State, had a great career there. Also on the second team, we'll talk about them both, Braden and Bryce Brown. Both came over, moved over from Pekin before their junior and sophomore years collectively, and right out of the gate were mainstays in the lineup. Bryce, his junior year was a little bit, I would say, overshadowed by Nick Guerrero with the great year Nick had, but Bryce had an all-area type year. So both the Brown brothers were great additions to the Potter program. Another guy that pretty much made the list with his consistent play in the postseason that put him over the top was Evan Pfeifer at shortstop in 2018. And in 2017 on the super sectional team, he was our starting second baseman. Batted 5th in the lineup on the state title team, had an unbelievable defensive output in the state tournament and a bunch of clutch hits along the way. So Evan Pfeifer definitely a deserving choice on the second team. Next we have Matt Hungate, a guy that didn't play for me, played for Coach Millard, but provided power in those years where they were making it to the sectionals and winning regionals and winning the Middle Illini, a guy that went on to play Division I football at Georgetown University. Next on the list, Steph Sauder, one of the better position players for Coach Millard in 2010 and 2011, was a utility guy, played all over the infield, batted in the 300s both his junior and senior year, and was a great addition to Coach Millard's team in the lineup. So Steph Sauder, definitely a deserving candidate for the team. Next guy on the list is what I also consider a great program guy, a guy that waited for his senior year to get time, and his name is Pat King. I'll never forget sectional title game against Geneseo. Comes up, hits a big 3-run bomb early in the game, gets our momentum going, and kind of led the charge that year offensively. Next on the list, probably one of the most coachable, best leaders we ever had in the program. 3-year starter for me, was one of the first sophomores I brought up when I was a coach here early on. Collin, Mormann, great leader, went on to Wisconsin Platteville, was a great player for them, 4 years, school up in northern Wisconsin. Great leader, one of the guys that will go down as one of my all-time favorites to coach. Next on the list, one of the few 4-year guys that we had, Isaiah Gudeman. Division I kid at Bradley right now. Probably had a great opportunity to be on that first team, but without a senior year, just came up a little bit short, but looking for him to have a great career at Bradley University. And one of the guys that, when I look back at my coaching career, he was behind the dish for a lot of the big wins that we had over those years. Also on the list, probably one of the all-time good guys in our program, a guy my first year in Morton was on my football team, and then when I got in the baseball program as a senior, he was one of the leaders we had. Jack Compton, now a nurse in Colorado, had a phenomenal year, and to date, he had the greatest game of all time in Morton Powder history. 3 for 3, 3 home runs against Pekin, 8 RBIs. Jack Compton. Next on the list, I keep going back to this and saying this, but another program guy, Jack Brennan. Guy that only had less than 10 at-bats his junior year, comes out his senior year, all-conference Middle Illini, hit several big home runs for us. Just a great guy, a great addition to this team, would be a winner and would be a starter for most any team in the state of Illinois. Senior outfielder Jack Brennan, he's now at the University of Illinois doing great things academically, and looking forward to seeing what he does in the future. And that is your second team. Tomorrow we will unveil the all-decade first team. Be interesting to see how close you fans out there think that we got it. Have a great Christmas.